Hi everyone, I'm back with another video and today's going to be a little bit different. I know I haven't uploaded for a while. I'm not even going to say anything about that. You know what, I'm just going to surprise you. Although I have got my tickets to the Europa League game, so we'll be there on the 25th of July. Our first game in the Europa League at Molineux, under the lights. Let's bring it on. Can't wait for the season to be back. But for the last few weeks, what's really been keeping me ticking over is the Women's World Cup. Now, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? Like, women's football isn't everyone's cup of tea. I think men especially look at the standard of it and think, oh, it's never going to be as good as the men's. Like, whatever. You can say what you want about it. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Like, I'm not here to grill anyone about their thoughts towards it. But watching England bow out of the World Cup on, I think it was Tuesday, to the US in the semi-finals was heartbreaking for me to watch. And the reason being is because I was like itching to be on the pitch. Like, I just wanted to be on the pitch. I felt like, why am I not on the bench being a sub right now? Like, why am I not there to have an impact on the game? And so, kind of like with all the disappointment and the heartbreak of watching it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to centre a video around it, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and again, that's fine, I understand. It doesn't have to be. If you don't want to watch this video, you don't have to by any means, but like, I just wanted to get a few things off my chest and kind of tell you all a little story, you know, about my footballing journey. So we have to rewind right back to the beginning, okay? When we were all born, so me, my brother and my sister, older brother, younger sister, we were all put into Wolves kits, so we all had like our own little Wolves baby grow. Even my nephew was born under a Wolves scarf. Right, because my dad's like a massive Wolves fan. Basically, you know, we grew up as Wolves fans. That was the way it was going to be, right? Now, naturally, my dad used to take my brother to the football, if I remember right. I don't know if I'm making that up, but I know that my brother used to wear the Wolves tops, and he went to a few games I didn't go to, but I wanted to go. And, you know, when you're a kid, it's kind of like, oh, you only want to go because your siblings go in, and we've all done it. Like, we're only interested in something if it means our brother or sister gets it. But I actually genuinely realised that I like football, and I really did like football. So growing up, I had an interest in it. Sorry about the background noises, by the way. I'm in a room with my two cockatiels, and they're always pain. But I started playing football when I was probably about 6 years old, and my inspiration was Michael Owen. Now, I love Michael Owen, and I know he has his haters, I know he gets a lot of stick, and again, that's okay, like, say what you want about him, but growing up, he was iconic, right? So, about 6-7 years of age, I literally used to just spend my time in the street, like, just kicking the ball at the wall and practicing, but confidence was always an issue with me. Like, I never really knew how to, like, push myself to get better at football, and so I didn't join a team, actually, until I was about 11, I believe. I used to play at my football school, so the first ever trophy I got was this big, right? This big. And I remember getting it, and I threw a strop because I couldn't believe how small the trophy was, right? So I was like, that's it. That's my... Now, I should have been proud. I should have been like, yeah, I got my first trophy. And I actually remember someone saying to me at a training session, which was like a mixed thing. It was just like a general training session. It wasn't for a team or anything. Someone says, oh, like, don't worry, because your trophies are only going to get bigger. So I thought, well, it ain't going to be hard if this is how big my first trophy is, right? So I should have been way more appreciative of this. So I got this at a tournament in 2006. It was, I think there was like 4 teams in the tournament at a school called County Bridge. And that's where I won it. So we didn't win the tournament. I think we finished second, if I remember right. And I remember completely caning my quad muscle and screaming on the side of the pitch. My first injury at the age of 11. You can tell Michael Owen was my influencer. So, I played football. I used to love being on the pitch at school. Like, I just play football all the time. Like, you could not get me out of tracksuits. Like, I literally attended a wedding in a Wolves top. Like, that's how serious we're talking here. So I had a bit of an issue with it, right? And my dream was to play for England and obviously the Wolves. I trialled for the Wolves I was in year 5, I think, year 5 or year 6, so I was only between the ages of 9 and 11. I couldn't really tell you my exact age, but I tried for the Wolves and got rejected. So I sat in my bedroom crying for days, thinking, Wolves, like, Wolves don't want me, my favourite team, like, how could this be, like, whatever. Yeah, so I never tried for anyone again. And I actually joined my first team, a team called Shire Oak, in, again, I think it was year 7. So I joined my first team. I have got the kit just here. Bear with me a moment. So this was my first ever football kit, and yeah, I've still got it. I've kept all of my stuff, right? So extra small, there it is. My first ever football kit. I've also got a picture which I will show you. Just don't even ask, right? And I've always played as number 6 for Shire Oak. Now, I was actually a right winger. So back then, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? My position meant I was number 6. It wasn't a number that I chose, but now it's a number that I have a connection to, although I'd much rather a centre-back wear it. So I joined them, and I got a few trophies amongst them. So I think the next trophy that I actually picked up might have been either this one, which was Player of the Week, which was nothing to do with the football team. That was actually a separate summer soccer school that I went to. Or it was this one. Now, we played a tournament in Pwllheli in Wales, and we got the runners-up boot for it. So we missed out by like 1 point. I think we were the only team that actually beat the winners of that tournament, right? So if we'd have played better in the first game against the team that won the tournament, we would have won it. But it's one of those. So that was like my next thing. And, you know, you start thinking, oh, well, these are bigger than the first trophy I've ever won. So moving on up past there, you know, I think we got a few. Oh, that's 2007, 2008. So my trophies were getting bigger. I was getting slightly better at football. Confidence is booming. I started, you know, getting a bit more muscle on me. Like, you know, the older I got, the better I was getting. And, you know, moving through the years, I think this was my favourite shirt for Shire Oak. Much better. Again, got the number 6. And moving into the 3rd season now, this was my best season. I actually won this trophy, and I got another one exactly like it. So that season, the 3rd season, we won the league and we won the League Cup. We'd never won anything as a team. Like, we never won any tournaments, nothing like that. So this meant a hell of a lot, being the best player that year, according to the players and the parents. I didn't win managers, but I got the other 2. I went on to get this, and then we got a nice big boy trophy over here. Yeah. So we won, like I said, we won the league, we won the cup, and everything was swell, right? So, like, you know, we're doing well as a team. I mean, we had the ugliest kit ever. I should fork out some of the pictures from us winning Shire Oak St. Starlets, and that was us. And my trophies got bigger. I did really well. Like, you know, I was absolutely unplayable, not to toot my own horn, but honestly, like, I was on fire that season. And boom, the team folded. We won the league, we won the League Cup, and the team folded. And the reason was the manager's daughter and a few of our other players wouldn't have been able to move up into the next, like, age bracket, which meant that, like, you know, we'd lose like 3 or 4 key players, and especially the manager's daughter. He didn't really want to continue with the team if his daughter couldn't move up, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. And I was devastated, to say the least. I still wish I could be in that team right now. Like, I look back on it and I think, like, what if we just carried on? What could we have achieved? Would we have got scouted? How many of us would have gone on to bigger and better things? Because, you know, we were playing against teams that had, like, Stoke City academy girls and all sorts. But it wasn't to be. And I hit about 15 years of age. I then joined a club called Tipton Harriers, which wore this kit, and I moved on from number 6 because the defender had it and decided to go for number 10, which was obviously Michael Owen's number. And they hadn't won a single game the season before I joined them, right? Like, they did not get a single point. They didn't even draw a game. They lost every game. And I played a pre-season friendly with them in the build-up to the league after a few training sessions. We were 3-2 down with like 14 seconds to go. I remember asking the ref, how long's left? About 14 seconds. I was like, cool. Picked the ball up and just absolutely levered it, right? Like a 3-3. And everyone was like, wow, that's our first point. Like, oh my God. And like, it was crazy. And I just thought, oh, it's what, your first point, you know. Who have I just joined? You know, I went from like league winners to, oh, we lost every game last season. Like, oh, okay. And it wasn't a bad team, you know. They were decent enough. Like, most of the players had something about them, but yeah. So I played another game for them. I earned us a draw in the first game of the season. We drew 1-1. I think I scored first, and then they equalised later on in the game. And again, first point, we're on the board. Cool. And I kept turning up for training sessions, but I had been seeing the physio about my knees, and they were an absolute mess, right? So I'm seeing the physio, I'm complaining about this persistent knee pain that just won't go away. I carry on trying to train, but I keep hobbling off training. And for 2 weeks in a row, I turned up and no one else was there. So I was like turning up to training ready, and there was no one there. I wasn't told anything, but the team had actually folded. So me and my mum were like, where do we go from here? This isn't working. Do I join another team? Like, what do I do? And at this point in my life, I hit like a bit of a crisis because I just got really good at football. Like, I really believed, like, I'm gonna go somewhere with this. I want to go somewhere with this. I also like music on the side, as you guys know, and video editing and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it, and I came to the decision that I weren't going to pursue football anymore because of my knees. It was just getting too much. It was like everything was hurting. They kept clicking, and like it was just so painful. And I called it there. Fast forward to second year of university, right? I literally hadn't really kicked a ball, and it took a lot for me to decide to get back into football. I was going through a really bad depressive phase. Like, I was getting out of bed and just not wanting to exist, and it was a really hard time for me, and things happened. I ended up moving back into halls at university, and I decided I'm going to train again. I joined the training sessions with Edge Hill's first team, which is the university I went to near Liverpool. Started training, realised, you know what, I'm actually not too bad. You know, there were certain things that weren't there, like the physicality and the strength. I didn't have the pace or the strength that I used to have, but I had this like desire to just carry on. So in third year, I trialled for the team. I pulled my muscle in the second trial, or the first trial. I overstretched running for a through ball, but I'd put a good shift in. But I thought, oh, I'm injured, they're not going to pick me, I'm screwed. But I turned up and got picked for the team, right? It was a massive boost, it was huge. Now, I didn't really feature much for the team. You know, I was played more as a left winger, occasionally as a forward, and I struggled to really get into it again because I realised that, like, there's a whole difference between being good at football outside of matches, right? Like, it's so different when you're there because things don't quite pull off, or, you know, you can't really predict what the other team's going to be like, and so on and so forth. And I didn't quite have the edge that I used to have. I didn't score any goals. I think I got like 1 assist, and that was in a varsity game. So it was hard, but it was enough. And the season after university, I joined a team called Stourbridge. Again, I've got another kit here. Stourbridge, this was our away kit. I can't seem to find the home shirt for some reason. So I joined them again, and I got firing back on cylinders. Again, I was played as a left winger because the manager's daughter played on the right, and she was so powerful and good on the wing that I got demoted to the left, which is fine. And eventually I started playing more and more as a striker, and I did really well. We got promoted in the first season that I was there. Then we joined the Birmingham County Women's League, and do I have a trophy for playing in that? I think I do. Hang on a sec. Yeah, there you go. And that's the last trophy that I won as a player, I think. Yeah, it must be, because it's the only one I actually keep in my bedroom. So I won that. I just missed out on Players Player by like 1 vote or something. But it was nice to have that kind of recognition again. And so now I'm starting to think, and this is kind of why I wanted to make this video, I feel like I'm got a bit of a journey to go on right now. I'm 24. A lot of people might not know that. I'll be able to tell that from my videos. I'm 24. I work in retail, so I have to work weekends. I want to see if I can get back into football. And, you know, in my head I've got it like, what if I actually just made the next World Cup with England? Is that possible? Is that doable? Now, you know, I've put a lot of effort into football in my life and felt like I never got anywhere. And I'm a very ambitious person. Now, it might be that if I get back into football, do I then have to sacrifice Wolves? Like, do I sacrifice watching the Wolves to play football? And if it means that I get somewhere, and now you could argue, well, you're stupid, because if you don't get anywhere, then you've just missed out on loads of Wolves games for no reason, you fool. But can you think like that? Like, do you sit there and just be like, actually, yeah, maybe I shouldn't bother, because if it doesn't work, then I've missed out on this, that, and the other. Like, if you want something bad enough, surely you've got to do everything to get it, right? Like, you've got to focus, you got to go full steam ahead and get it, because I love football, and I don't think people understand, many girls, when they say I love football, right? Like, you know, I've been called every name under the sun playing because boys couldn't handle that I was better than them. Obviously when they hit puberty, things got a bit different. But growing up, you know, I could play, and I know I could play, and I know I could have been something, and I was kicking myself watching England in the World Cup, just thinking, why did I not follow, like, one of my biggest dreams as a kid? Like, I wanted to play football. I did, and that's just what it is. And, you know, it's hard when you realise that you had a dream and you just never did anything with it. So I wanted to just sit and bore you all to tears with this story, to be honest. Make what you want of it. But I just wanted to throw it out there. So expect to see a few more football videos over the next few months. Like, it's time for me to get fit and work on all the things that I need to work on. But yeah, if you have a dream out there, guys, like, chase it. Just chase the dream, because you're going to look back in a few years like I did, and you're going to be like, well, that sucks. So all the young girls out there that have been inspired by the World Cup, like, work for it. Like, please don't make the mistake I've made, where now I'm thinking I'm too old and can't do it, but it was always something I dreamed of when I was a kid. And it's right, you know, you may start off this big, but you know what I mean? Look at the difference, right? You may feel like you're that small, but really that's what you're aiming for, and even bigger. So hold on to the dreams and chase them. Do whatever it takes, you know, never let anyone get in your way, because let me tell you now, my biggest enemy was myself, right? You might get told, oh, we don't have time, but, like, you know, you've got to find a way. Like, you can practice outside of school, you can practice whenever you need to, like, you can go to training, you can play the matches, and people should support that. Just do whatever it takes. Like, you know, you'll get told, oh, well, you need a plan B, because if you don't make it, then what are you actually going to do? Well, if you're into sport and you don't make it as a professional footballer, why can't you be a PE teacher? Why can't you get your coaching badges and move up that way? You know what I mean? Like, there's always an option out there. There's always a little river. Like, don't live, because I think me resting on a plan B meant that I weren't that bothered about plan A, because I was like, oh, well, plan B is more realistic because my parents think that's what, you know, that's what I think is more realistic. So you don't push for plan A as much as you should. I promise you now, like, go for it, please. And to the Lionesses, I doubt you're going to see this video, any of ya, but thank you for being a massive inspiration and giving me the kick up the arse that I needed. I know it's tough, I know losing in the semi-finals hurts. I watch Wolves do it at Wembley, for God's sake, and it's painful. But thank you for making me proud amongst millions of others, and, you know, women's football is only going to get better from here. So if you are watching, thank you. And I guess, being as I'm wearing a California shirt, I should congratulate the US on winning the World Cup today. I'm not bitter at all. Thank you for watching anyway, guys. I know it's a little bit different. I know it's a long video. You're probably not even going to get this far. But if you do, I appreciate it. So I'll see you all on 25th of July when Wolves play whoever it may be in the Europa League final. We're still waiting on that. So thank you for being here. I hope this inspires someone. Chase dreams, go get them. Good luck, and I will see you all in the next video on my Xbox Holly. And remember to subscribe. Thank you.